organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up today on Daily Iowan TV, litigation. The University of Iowa faces off against another lawsuit. And later, sustainability on campus, how Iowa is helping the environment.
We have a closer look on one activity that is not your usual Hawkeye sport.
And a closer look into 2 freshman golfers.
If you thought Mother Nature mellowed out, then you're going to be in for quite the shock here on Weather.
All that and more coming up. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Becca Scadden. The Iowa City Police Department discovered the body of a missing Iowa City woman last week. The body that washed up in Hill, Iowa along the Iowa River was identified as Catherine J. Booker. Booker was last seen on March 10th in Iowa City. Police indicate that no foul play has been involved. Check out today's copy of the Daily Iowan for the full story. And this week boasts the largest Japanese literary event to take place at the University of Iowa. From today to Thursday, 7 esteemed writers will get a chance to show off their works through reading, performances, and discussions, all in the purpose of spreading cultural awareness and exploring the diversity offered by the International Writing Program. Today kicks off with a lecture on novelist Kenji Nakagami. Then at Prairie Lights at 7 p.m., headliner Gosu Yoshimasu and translator will read aloud from his collection, Alice Iris Red Horse. Yoshimasu will also be performing on Wednesday, this time at the Theater Building at 7 p.m. And yesterday, the people of Iowa City had the opportunity to soak up some sun while spending time with law enforcement and with local law enforcement. The event was part of a community autism day. Kids were able to explore emergency vehicles, take the chance to use some of the equipment, and learn what these officials do for the city. But this wasn't just a learning experience for the kids.
Community is ever growing, so having more awareness, having more events like this will definitely promote better relationships and build better relationships that we can all learn from.
This was the first event of its kind. Stick with Daily Iowan TV for further coverage of Autism Awareness Month. And today is the second day of the interactive museum Walls Between Us, a display located on the T and Cleary Walkway. The wall is made entirely of boxes and was designed to represent the divisions amongst the communities. All patrons are encouraged to write testimonials and statements on what causes divisiveness. The University of Iowa Students for Human Rights group hopes that this will break down emotional and physical barriers, and states that it was inspired by the 2016 presidential election and Donald Trump's statement on building a wall. And the University of Iowa is doing its most to celebrate Earth Month, with students and community members joining together in hopes to educate the public on what sustainability means. Daily Iowan TV's reporter Jackie Valladares has the story.
April 2017 kicks off Earth Month, and this year, the University of Iowa's main theme is Sustainability Connects Us All.
Our main goal is to live without fossil fuels.
The Environmental Association on campus partnered with 100 Grannies, the local eco group, to show how sustainability plays a major role on our campus, our community, and even our planet. The University of Iowa Environmental Coalition has planned events surrounding Earth Month, just like this one, the Reusable Bag Campaign, where students and community members can donate their plastic bags and grab a free reusable one, all while learning about sustainability in Iowa.
I think the biggest thing that ties back to university is we have our 2020 sustainability goals. A big one of that is reducing our waste. And so obviously plastic bags are a huge source of waste. So if we could get like every single college student to not use plastic bags at all, that would cut out a huge chunk of our waste as a campus.
The university's 2020 sustainability vision includes reducing the carbon impact on transportation, pursuing renewable energy options, and decreasing our production of waste, all in hopes to step into a greener future. Reporting from Iowa City, I'm Jackie Valladares, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, I've really been enjoying the sunshine the past couple days, but I think we're all wondering, when are we going to be seeing some of those April showers? So I'll toss it over to Chris Cervantes in the weather studio to bring us more. Chris?
Thanks, Becca, and thank you, Spring, for the great weather. Despite this, it looks like we're going to have us a rather hectic week. This morning is quite pleasant already with some partly cloudy skies and a high 58 degrees. These clouds are going to stick around in the afternoon and temperatures will rise up to a high of 75 degrees. Once evening comes around, though, the clouds will thicken up and the temperatures will drop down to 68 degrees. Tomorrow will be even more sporadic, with scattered thunderstorms occurring across Iowa City. If you think it gets any better, then you're in luck. Let's take a look at that extended day forecast. Thursday will say goodbye to the rain, which is cloudy skies and a high of 59 degrees and a low of 41 degrees. On Friday, the clouds will dissipate slightly and the temperatures rise to a high of 61 and a low of 43. Now, all you Chicago natives out there better be ready, because on Saturday, Iowa City is going to be the real windy city, with winds reaching around 20 miles per hour and temperatures dropping to a high of 56 and a low of 41. Sunday will be what we all want, a sunny day with a high of 63 but a low of 41. Finally, Monday returns us to a partly cloudy day with a high of 67 and a low of 44. And that wraps up our Tuesday weather report. Becca, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Chris. And yesterday marked the 121st annual Boston Marathon. Not only was it a time for personal triumph for all who competed in the run, but it was an especially important marathon for Kathrine Switzer. 50 years ago in 1967, Switzer became the first woman to complete the all-male race as an official registered entrant. Switzer originally registered as KV Switzer to hide her gender while registering. It wasn't until 1972 when women were officially allowed to enter the race. 50 years later, Switzer completed the race at a time of 4 hours and 44 minutes, only a little behind her original time of 4 hours and 20 minutes in 1967. And Hogwarts may be making its way to the University of Iowa. Daily Iowan Metro reporter Charlie Peckman has more.
Although the University of Iowa does not currently have a Quidditch team, Vice President and President of the UI Quidditch Club, Lily Newman and Lauren Bisgard, are currently in talks with the university about getting funding for their club. The game of Quidditch itself is made up of 7 players on each team, 3 chasers, whose goal is to try and score the ball, 2 beaters, whose goal is to try and block the chasers from scoring, a seeker, who tries to score the snitch, which is worth 30 points as opposed to the usual 10 for a goal, and a keeper, who acts as the goalie for each team. According to US Quidditch, which was established in 2010, there are currently 200 teams across the United States and over 4,000 players. It is unclear when the club will receive funding or recognition from the university, so stay tuned. Back to you, Becca.
Well, the Iowa track and field team had a great weekend this weekend. Let's toss over to Alec with more in the sports studio. Alec?
Thanks, Becca. Spring sports were very busy over the weekend. The track and field team competed in the MT SAC relays in California, and the team came away with several titles, as well as a broken 200-meter school record by Brittany Brown. The team will host the Must Go Twilight this Saturday.
The women's tennis team had a rough weekend, losing Michigan 3-4 and Michigan State 5-2, while the men lost to Purdue and Indiana and came away with the win against Butler on Sunday.
And as Iowa women's golf is winding down, Zach Lohman took a look at 2 freshmen and how their first season has gone on the team.
Redshirt Sarah Overton and standout Sophie Liu, both freshmen on the Iowa women's golf team, have had a similar path to get to where they are now. While Sarah is an Iowa City native, Sophie has had to adjust from her hometown of Vancouver, Canada, to the Midwest of the United States.
I've been a Hawkeye my whole life. Growing up, going to football games, basketball games. Yeah, it was definitely a dream come true.
Awesome.
The university itself is just all about, like, it feels very familiar, it feels very nice and friendly, and everyone here is great. So you never run into someone where you're like, oh wow, you know, everyone here is nice and helpful.
While Sarah and Sophie are having different seasons this year, they both have had to deal with the difficult task of more competitive golf and being a freshman in college.
Freshman year, there's just so much transition that's gone on. I think, a lot of it, I would say, for Sophie is just kind of transitioning to being on her own, and kind of figuring out a little bit of time management and figuring out how to handle school, and golf. She's a great, good student too, but I think it's just kind of settling into that whole process so that she can be her best. Sarah, I think probably a little bit of the same, but I think overall, I think Sarah has probably really learned a lot about the game of golf. I think just kind of continuing her education and being around good players day in and day out has really, just kind of opened her eyes to how to practice and just how to take it to the next level.
It will be interesting to see how Sarah begins her career with the Hawkeyes and how Sophie continues hers next season. Reporting from Finkbine Golf Course, this has been Zachary Lohman with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Sarah and Sophie will definitely be 2 Hawkeyes to keep an eye on at their time here at Iowa.
Absolutely, and the women's golf team is headed to Ohio this weekend to compete in the Big Ten Championships.
And as summer approaches, University of Iowa students are taking a break from their studies to catch some rays and maybe even some fish as well.
As the weather starts getting nicer here in Iowa City, University of Iowa students are coming out to local fishing spots to see what they can catch. It's that time of year again where students are putting the books aside for a little bit to enjoy some nice nature and sunshine. Many local residents and students are dusting off their fishing poles to try and reel in the big catch, which you can find right here in Iowa City. A town normally known for its academics and athletics also can be a fishing hotspot.
So I've caught, bass was the first thing I caught, largemouth bass. Largest I've caught was about 3 pounds so far. And then I've caught a crappie and some channel catfish, but not sure if there's walleye. We were talking about that earlier, couldn't find any walleye. There's the one bounced right there, you can see that, hopping right out.
Usually I find catfish, drumfish, but when I come out at night, it's gonna be more of the catfish I find.
With many spots to fish in the area, including Terry Trueblood Recreation Center, Coralville Lake, the Iowa River, Lake McBride, and many others, University of Iowa students are trying to get a fishing club together.
Yeah, so I've got a few friends that fish, but I know a lot of people in this area, and I've seen a lot of other people coming out here fishing. So I'm definitely not the only one that goes to university that fishes. So I think that'd be pretty beneficial and pretty cool to check out.
Yeah, it's really nice. I actually live close by, so it's really convenient for me. Definitely for relaxing, and it's nice, something to do when it's nice out.
Just remember before you do fish in Iowa City to always have the proper Iowa fishing license and to only keep fish that are big enough, but most importantly, have fun. Reporting from Terry Trueblood Recreational Center in Iowa City, Clayton Sampson, Daily Iowan, TV Sports.
An Iowa fishing license can be obtained at any sporting goods store in the area. And if you have any questions regarding fishing, you can contact your local DNR official. Taylor, with the weather warming up and how easy it is to get a license, I wonder if we'll see more fishermen out on the river.
Well, I'm not really a fisher myself. What about you, Alec?
Absolutely not. I think I'd fall in.
Well, hopefully you don't see me and Alec on the river this season, but hopefully a lot of other Iowa City residents. And following the softball team series victory over Rutgers this past weekend, freshman pitcher Allison Ducey was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week on Monday. On Friday, Ducey threw a career-high 10 strikeouts in a one-hit shutout against Rutgers.
Yeah, Ducey and the softball team will take on Iowa State tonight at 6, so make sure you tune in to see tomorrow for the results. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, guys. And the University of Iowa Library is moving its books to a new location. Reporter Del Jock has more. And looking for some weekend plans, Hollywood actor Jesse Eisenberg is making his way to Iowa City this Friday. Eisenberg is famous for his role in various films such as The Social Network, Adventureland, and Now You See Me. Eisenberg will be taking the Englert Theater stage at 8 p.m. as he answers a moderated Q&A from questions gathered via email and social media. For more information on how to submit a question to Eisenberg or for ticket information, go to englert.org. And that's it for this Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check out our live shows every morning at 8:30 a.m. on dailyiowan.com. Be sure to pick up today's copy of the Daily Iowan. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching Iowa City and have a great day.